Donald Trump Jr. says he's lobbying his father to pick a fighter like Tucker Carlson or Vivek to be his running mate, okay? So what I want in that role, Jr. says, is I want a fighter. He told New York Post, I understand what they're going to throw at us. The vicious nature of the swamp and the insanity we see on a daily basis. You need someone who can take those hits. Junior said he has been pushing candidates like J.D. Vance and former presidential candidate Vivek Ramaswamy, right-wing Fox TV host Tucker Carlson. Trump Jr. filmed answering reporters' questions in a video published by New York Post, said he would love to see Tucker Carlson go up against Kamala Harris. That would be fun. Do you agree with him?
One, contextually, I don't think his father is taking his recommendations. I don't talk about the kids out of respect for the family, even though they're all adults. But Ramaswamy is a fighter. There's no question about that. Totally more combative than Tucker Carlson is, certainly. But neither of them are even close to the realm of possibility. I believe the best choice for Donald Trump is Nikki Haley. I really do. And I know that is, people on the left don't like me saying that. Trumpers don't like me saying that. But she absolutely helps him with a slice of women that he has to be worried about. Mm-hmm. And it would also show his ability to reach across. She would not scare people away in that party as to being competent. God forbid something happens to the president. It would absolutely give him an advantage over Biden, because Biden has a VP candidate that people do not want to be president. So I thought that it made sense just from a healing component. I know he doesn't like her, but so what? He's completely transactional.
I got a question. I got two questions for you. So, okay, so let's strategy. So announcement is made. President Donald Trump announces his VP choice. It's Nikki Haley. Okay, one. The left loses their minds. The establishment says, okay, now that we know he chose Trump, Wall Street, Jamie Dimon would consider it. Griffin is in. This guy's in. The establishment money now comes towards Trump, okay? That's one. Two, Donald Trump announces his vice president pick. It's Nikki Haley, MAGA. Oh, hell no. She is establishment. There's no way in the world. Okay, which is going to be more dangerous and more coming with consequences? Is there more benefit for doing it, or is it more cons for doing it?
I think it's easy on the benefit side, because who's not going to vote for Trump? Who's a Trumper?
Right. He's not losing any votes.
And as soon as he says, by the way, Nikki Haley, I don't like some of the things she said, but at least she had the balls to say it. And she's okay with me. I think 80% of it goes away there. And if you're a Trumper, you're a Trumper. And he needs help with women and independent voters.
Okay, follow up. Nikki Haley.
Who's better than her, by the way?
Tulsi Gabbard. What do you think about Tulsi?
I've always been very impressed by Tulsi Gabbard. How do Trumpers feel about a Democrat leaving and joining? Maybe they've already crossed that bridge with Tulsi. I would give the appraisal this way. I think Nikki Haley gives Tulsi Gabbard all she can handle in a heads-up competition. No disrespect to Tulsi Gabbard. I enjoy talking to her, and I enjoy her process. Whether or not you agree is, again, a third-level concern for me. But I think Nikki Haley is absolutely can go toe-to-toe with her.
Okay, so what does Nikki have that Tulsi doesn't have?
Legitimacy.
From what standpoint?
Of all of the electability quotients. She's been in a primary. She beat an entire field. She was going toe-to-toe with Trump. She showed she could raise the money. She showed she could deal with the media. I mean, she's been tested.
She was a governor.
Well, positions aside, yeah, a governor and an ambassador. She's been part of Trump's administration, but she's been through the crucible.
Okay, so now if you're if you're the campaign manager, let's just say you're selling Tulsi. How do you sell Tulsi against Nikki? What's Tulsi's edge?
Disruption. Disruption. And we're Team Trump. We're all about disruption.
Who's more of a Democrat, Nikki Haley or Tulsi Gabbard?
I don't even know what it means to be a Democrat anymore because they don't talk policies. I think that Tulsi Gabbard has a lot of domestic policies that are still traditionally Democratic policies. Foreign policy and the origination of how to use power in government is where she differs. Nikki Haley does not really hold anything that's even close to center left, let alone left in terms of social policy. I think both of them are anti-reproductive rights, though. I think they're both in line with the change that was made in the law.
But Nikki's big. I mean, but besides the apologize, like she's been talking trash about him for the whole year. What, 2 years? A year and a half?
Yep.
That, and on top of the fact that she is legitimately a war hawk. Every debate that we went to, it was, let's bomb Russia, let's go fight with Iran. You know what? While we're at it, just
Taiwan, China.
let's just bomb the shit out of everybody. Trump is the only one that hasn't started a war. I don't see how that would play out where somebody wants to fight and the president.
She'd shut up.
You think so?
Yeah. When's the last time you heard of a vice president other than Biden saying what he said about gay marriage?
Yeah, that was pretty wild.
I mean,
yeah.
shut up.
I understand why Trump would want a fighter in there, but if you just look at trying to win this election, the reason that they lost the midterms in 2022 was one issue: women's rights. I just was at Model Volleyball this week, bunch of footage coming out. I asked every girl out there, what is your number one issue?
Yeah.
Women's rights, abortion, reproductive rights. So if you're trying to move the movable middle, trying to move the independents, trying to move the women, you need a female candidate. That's why at the top of the list, if you could scroll down, Rob, I've said it before, I've said it for the last 6 months, the number one person on the list is still Kristi Noem. So Tulsi Gabbard's in the mix. Sure, Nikki Haley's in the mix. Elise Stefanik's in the mix. I think Vivek would be the best at whatever you put him at. Treasury, commerce,
and
whatever.
Listen, and in
Tucker's building out his network. It's going to be a female.
And in this day and
to move the
age,
middle.
Vivek Ramaswamy, think about it. He's brown, he's down, and guess what he could do? All he has to do,
Brown and he's
brown and he's down. Guess what?
And he's down the clown.
And
Let's
in
go.
this climate, all he has to do is say, you know what? I identify as a woman. He'll be the first. He could. What? Wait. One. Wait, are you gonna laugh and tell him it's transgender visibility? Like he could come out as a woman. Rob, don't laugh. This is serious. All right. Not on Easter. All he has to do is say, "I'm a woman. I'm a woman,
Vinny,
and I'm brown and
Vinny,
I'm down. Let's go."
Look at
I
the
see
VP.
you, Vinny.
Look at the VP right here.
Yeah. Kristi
Noem 4.5. Tim Scott 5-1. Elise Stefanik, she's a beast, 8-1. Tulsi Gabbard, beast. Vivek, beast. Nikki 6th place. Carson's there. Sarah Huckabee Sanders,
beast.
Bill
There's
O'Reilly
one.
says it must be Sanders.
Really?
What do you mean?
He says that Sanders is the only one that checks all the boxes necessary to be his running mate. I disagree with the analysis because I think you're not giving enough influence to Trump saying this is who I want.
Yeah.
I think that's
Nobody
a very
gave
powerful thing.
two F's about
back
who
to the
Mike Pence was in 2016.
By the way, did we all just slip up to Adam? Look who's I don't know if you guys just look who's number 3 in the Vegas odds. Look, nobody's really talking about that. Michelle Obama is still 3rd. If God forbid something happens to Joseph,
Vinny,
That's a boogeyman.
Vinny, this is where I'm going to just remind you to use your memory and math.
yeah.
She was 9-1 about 2 months ago. Now she's 14-1. Gavin was 20-1.
The fact that they have
Joe
her
Biden
more,
has-
she's above
more likely than RFK.
RFK.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. She hasn't even announced that.
But by the way, that's been the same thing for months. But what you're missing is Joe Biden's numbers are deadly close to Trump these days. They were very separated about a month ago.
Oh, yeah.
So it's a two-headed monster race at this point. Your Michelle Obama theories.
That's why Bobby's so important.
Yes.
That's why right now, Bobby, if he can get on enough state ballots, and that's a big if. He keeps shutting me down every time I ask him, saying it's not an if, it's a when. I'll definitely be on. I just don't understand how that happens. It's really hard. It's one of the best aspects of the poison political system is what the parties do to you to get you on the ballots. Because
how did Ross Perot do it?
They bury you.
How does the Green Party do it?
He had a ton
How does
of
the Libertarian Party do it?
Those are parties with infrastructure that work on it over the course of cycles. Okay. They contest you every set of signatures. So you need 100,000 signatures. They'll want you to prove every one of those 100,000 people. That's very expensive and time consuming.
So here's what I want to do. If you're watching this, do you agree with Chris's assessment on Nikki Haley? Do you? Do you have some concerns that maybe he's not paying attention to and he's got some blind spots? Why don't you connect him
Please
and
do
ask
that.
him the question on just bring up his Manek. Send them a Manek right there. By the way, Chris responds very quickly, and he may even send you a video or an audio, depending on whatever you pay for, to give his perspective on Nikki Haley. And maybe you give your argument and say, I don't think so because of X, Y, Z, or anything else that was discussed. And if you can go to the other Manek, Rob, with everybody else, you got Vinny, Adam, Tom. Anybody else here that you want to ask a question on Manek, download the app, start Manecting today.
So if you like this clip and you want to watch another one, click right here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click right here.